Hi everyone, welcome back to Gilberto Silva, the Visible Wall podcast show. Me and Tim Chase again here to talk about something in football, but especially about Arsenal last game against Villa. How are you, Tim?
I'm
Welcome
good,
back.
mate. I'm good. It's going to be an interesting podcast this week.
Not really. Oh,
I don't know.
but
I think it's just going to be an interesting one. I have the feeling.
yeah, of course, there is a lot of things to discuss and talk about this game. That once again put like the lights flashing around and about concerns in the team about this result. Of course, after win the game at Old Trafford, it was a massive win for the team, and then you have the Europa League, you have a good result. We expect the consistency, but we didn't have in this game against Villa, and this is quite concern for everyone.
Yeah, I think so. I think, and we rightfully, everybody sort of gave some decent praise to the whole of the squad. It was a good, solid team performance. And then we actually made a fans vote whether our Nenny or Partey should win Player of the Week. And then Mikel Arteta rested all but two players in the Europa League, and they still got a result. So I think everyone's was expecting at least a decent performance. Like we said, like you tweeted on Sunday afternoon before the game, that it's going to be a tough game, but I'm expecting 3 points. And Arsenal the players just didn't turn up. It seems like, so it's been a criticism of Arsenal as a team that they can be quite weak and easily broken. They don't have players in the team that can fight and bring the team through, like Vieira and when you were playing as well, and players like this that had some fight amongst them. And it seems like as soon as they are put under pressure really early, they just fall apart and lose all the confidence and lose everything about it. And obviously Villa had a goal disallowed after 40 seconds. And it just seemed like that they were all panicking. Every single one panicked after it. I mean, there was some clips going across about social media about Tierney falling over the ball and trying to do a trick and falling over that. And then giving the ball away. Partey putting in awful passes. Players that we've given lots of praise to in the past just kind of crumbled under the pressure. And I think that's been a fault that's been put at Arsenal's door for a long time now. And it seems like it's now coming back again.
It's hard because I think for everyone, I think it's hard for everyone. It's hard for the fans, but for the players as well, it's tough because after two good results, and you as a player, everyone expected the consistent continue, and then you get the good results. But as didn't happen in this game, and lots of things, strange events in the game during the game, and like situation with Tierney where he lost the control of the ball and slippery on it.
Yeah.
And it's not very common. But what I want to say is not be too negative about the result. Of course, when I look back at Arsenal records the last few years, the way you mentioned, it seems like at some point when they conceded first, they came a little bit strange in the game, about control the game and calm down and get back into it. In this game, seems like things didn't work out, despite the fact they had a few good chances, and they had a few good chances. But Villa, they were full of confidence playing this game.
They just took it straight at them, high press right from the start.
Yeah, full of confidence. Grealish, amazing,
incredible player.
I Seems like could be a player that Arsenal missed.
Someone has to fight.
With his ability, he's one of the guy in the middle. He can play a beautiful football. Holds the ball, controls it, but also give assistance. He can score goals as well. And it's slightly different from Dennis Bergkamp, but it could be maybe somebody for the future Arsenal consider this situation. But despite that, the fact is that Arsenal had a a terrible result after two good wins, and it's important to get back. I don't know if this break is good or bad for them, you know, to absorb the result and turn it back. You know, the players went away on the international ducks, and when they come back, you know, some of them must be tired. And let's see how the team will react to that. The players, everyone will react to get rid of this frustration from the game against Villa.
So when you were playing and you had a bad result and then had to go off to international duty, do you think that's a good thing? Did you think it was a good thing? Would you rather have a break and go, look, I'll concentrate on the national team, be around a different group of players, forget about Arsenal for a minute, and then come back, and then take it on? Or would you rather play another game straight away and get back into it?
Sometimes it works well when you have a game, you know, just a few days later. Sometimes you need a little bit more time to think about and to work out on the strategies, and for the manager to everyone, you know, look what happened, what went wrong in this game. The strategies didn't work well. The chemistry was not the best, and the mistakes you have made. You have to look into it very deeply and trying to find, you know, the way how to correct these things to avoid. Because as you mentioned before, I know a couple of times here, if you don't have a consistency in the Premier League, it's very difficult even to be in the top four, to be part of the Champions League in the next season. Arsenal in the last few years have been struggling because of that, you know, with non-consistency in their games. You know, they can play one beautiful game today and then over Sunday, they miss out this continuity. They miss out, you know, this like energy to put it again and repeat it game after the game. Obviously, it's not so easy to repeat a good performance every time, but the consistency of most of the players, this is one of the most important things that every team must keep it.
Well, I think players can have good games and bad games from like a skill level point of view. But I think the minimum that any fan wants is an effort level. The effort has to be 100% every single time. You know, you represent their team. You're what gets them through this bad period of time that we're all going through in lockdown. You're like a nice hour and a half break, 90 minutes break from real life. The least we want to do is see a bit of effort. And I think the problem is that the players, I really do think that they get scared. And so one player makes a mistake and the whole of the rest of the team kind of panic as well. And I think that they need a player like someone like you, someone like Vieira, someone who's experienced that goes, right, everyone calm the fuck down. Let's just kind of get back to this normal. Right, we know how to play football. Calm the fuck down. Let's go again. And I don't think they have that. And I think panic just goes right through the team because everyone seems to make mistakes. Like Oneni 7 days ago was best player on the pitch, same as Partey. And now he was giving passes away, letting players run past him. Partey and Oneni look like they've never played together before. Now, I'm not blaming them, but I'm just kind of giving observations of it. And I think it was a problem that it's the whole team kind of feel like, and the whole team gets in this kind of panicked state and they don't know how to get themselves out of it. And I think that's, like I said, it's been like that since the Invincibles, 15 years. They bought skillful players, but with players without a backbone.
Seems like, you know, they consider the goal at 40 seconds. Then was allowed. You know, it seems like change all their mindset for this game, the strategies for them. And then, you know, they got panic. Okay, the goal was disallowed, but could be a goal for Villa, and the referee allowed it, and I think it would be worse, you know, consider goal in the 40 seconds. You know, it's so early, and then seems like since this episode, things didn't went well, as we have seen some of the players that performed well in the last couple of games, didn't perform well. But after that, one don't play well, another one don't do well, make wrong decisions, miss a lot of pass. This creates, like a kind of bad feeling on the field. I think at this time, what you really need on the field is leadership. This is what you really need in this time, and somebody has to be like, the one who speaks to the players. And come on, guys, what's wrong? And in the moment, maybe stop the ball for a foul. Just bring the players. Hey, come on, just take everyone up and get back to the game. Sometimes I miss this kind of thing at Arsenal, this kind of attitude from the players. The players, they are good players. I defend these, that they are good players. They had a bad game. Of course, they had a good game.
Everyone is entitled to having a bad game.
It's not about one play, but they had a bad game. And Villa, they enjoyed the game. They really enjoyed the game. But in these moments when things are very difficult, you need leadership on the field and somebody who shouts on the others and bring them back. Because sometimes when you need to wake up in the game, you are not feeling well, you are not, maybe you slept, but you are sometimes relaxed. You need somebody. Hey, come on, wake up and let's be focused. I think you can be as they are good players, sometimes two good guys to each other on the field. And I have no problem about that, about being two good players, good guys to each other. But for the club, you must give it all. You must fight. You must work out. You must show to the other players. The leaders of the team must show to the other players and bring them back to the game when they are a little bit out of it. And but it is important, everyone. And sometimes I don't see it very much. I remember my time having, for example, Jens Lehmann, and today, I think today is his birthday. It's his birthday. Happy birthday, my friend.
Happy birthday, nutty German.
And but having him at the back all the time, he speak to the players, shouting on everyone, having Martin Keown, no, on his presence on the field. Sometimes he was on the bench, but I've seen Martin shouting from the bench, to somebody else, a couple of times, and so at the back, shouting at everyone, because it's not only about the captain, it's about the leaders of the team speak out and bring everyone to the game when things are not well.
Yeah, well, we've said on one of our first podcasts, we were talking about the Arsenal Invincible team, and one of the things you were saying is that training sessions were like a game. When you trained, you treated it as if it was a game. So when it came to the game, it was much easier than actually the training sessions. The training sessions were harder than some of the games. And he also said that actually almost every single player in the Invincible team could have been a captain. They were all individual leaders. You can imagine, like you've mentioned two of them, then you've got Dennis Bergkamp. When we could go through the whole team and name people that could be captains. I mean, Freddie Ljungberg was the manager of Arsenal for a little bit,
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think that they need to, you're absolutely right, there needs to be better leaders on the pitch. And it's experienced players like Bellerin. And I don't want to single individual players out because wasn't a professional footballer. What do I really know about football, right? But there was a couple of times where he just got shoved off the ball or pushed off the ball by Grealish was one. I can't remember the other one, but it was lead up to the third goal. Now you can argue, okay, they were 2-0 down already, but you've got to show some effort for your fans, if nothing else, and your own personal pride. Like Grealish just shouldered him off the ball, and he bounced off and then just jogged back. 3 seconds later, the ball was in the back of the net. And then Villa's first goal, the ball went the whole of the width of the 6-yard box before, unfortunately, Saka had to put it in. But at least he was someone trying to put in a tackle to stop it going in. Unfortunately, he scored an own goal. But he's the only Arsenal player that tried to make an effort to stop it going in.
Yeah, this kind of situations, of course, is frustrating for everyone to see when things don't work well. But listen, we just come back to this point, where people start to get excited with us, after They winning against United, and then for the Europa League. And
you got video playing?
Wow. What?
Is there a video playing on your computer or your phone?
On my video? No.
Oh, it's gone now. Must be a bit of delay.
But as long people start to get excited again, the fans get excited after two good results from Arsenal. And a defeat like this, puts I think the fans again, start again. They start make the same talk again. Not only fans but people. But what is important, I think, for Arsenal in this situation is not get together, stay together. No matter what happened, sometimes bad games happen like this one. You can have like many good games, and then when you don't do well, everyone will talk about.
Yeah.
Just learn with the process, but it's important they learn and start to win things. Not only learn with the bad things that happen, these kind of lessons, but do things right in the next time.
Yeah.
And, because everyone will expect from them, expect from them, from a good team like they have, to perform better. And many situations this game is not because they lost, we are talk, but we have spoke about some other thing. I make some notes here when they win the games, some kind of mistakes that they could stop some situations. But let's going back to this game, as was clear that many mistakes was made. It's about to correct it. But as I mentioned, about the leadership, and sometimes be smarter in the game, because many clubs bully them on the field, and they cannot make the same.
Yeah.
That's why I touch again about leadership, being smart player, being not nasty in the sense of be a bad guy, a bad boy on the field. Yeah, exactly, but be smart or play smart, because you can be a top player, but if you don't know how to play smart, people bully you on the field.
No, and I don't think I completely agree with you. It's definitely down to leaders, but I think it's down to. I don't think like they. I really do believe that the performances were down due to the confidence, and they were just in panic. None of them felt comfortable. None of them wanted the ball. They're all, like, as soon as, like I mentioned earlier, that Aneni gave the ball away a lot of time. But if you look at the players around him, no one wanted that ball. No one was moving into a position to try and find space so that Aneni could put in a decent pass. No one was doing that. No one was helping each other else. Everyone was going, I don't want the football. And I wonder if it's because I think football fans generally go, right, teams are really well, amazing, we'll give them lots of praise. And then as soon as they make one tiny mistake, everyone jumps on their back. I think that's just how football is. But I do think that Arsenal players get it a lot worse. And I'm not saying it's because of Arsenal fan TV, but I think it seems like a lot of Arsenal players get a lot of shit from Arsenal fans very quickly. And you can completely understand why the fans feel like that. I can completely understand like that. But I wonder if that's partly down to the feelings of the players. Like, as soon as they make a mistake, I'm going to be all over social media now with fans calling me this and fans calling me that and videos for this. And I think sometimes it's when they have a good game, they get loads of praise. When they get a bad game, they get loads of criticism. And it's not really it's not a rational response, Yeah, this was a really, really bad performance.
It's like this. I don't know if you agree, especially with the social media. It's very hard, to keep the comments in sometimes reasonable in a certain ways, because everyone talks, everyone has a voice. That's why I mentioned before is important. Despite the bad result they got, the bad performance, stick together and support each other, and become a leader of themselves on their position, become a leader on the field. Because if they become a leader and they play smart, with the quality they've got, they have much more chance. If you see the game against United, for example, it was hard, but they were focused in this game. Can be a possibility you mentioned before about self confidence for this game, about play home after two good results, maybe too confident. I'm not gonna mention relax for this game, but after two good results, you work out after before this match, expecting to win again, to repeat a good performance, and starting the game not so well, change all your mindset, the mindset of the whole squad. I think
Yeah.
this was, in my opinion, the point where it starts the mistakes. It starts, the where maybe somebody got the ball and we don't fight anybody. People are hiding around, instead of showing up and show personality and try as much as they can to score a goal and change their own situation. And therefore, Villa just took advantage of it. Very well organized at the back, very well, organized in the middle, passing the ball so comfortable. And was about time for them. By the way, they were playing very comfortably on the field.
I think Aston Villa completely shocked Arsenal by how quickly and how fast they came out. They were pressed really high, they moved the ball really fast, and they just attacked pretty much constantly for the first half. And I don't think Arsenal were expecting that. I just think they got completely surprised by it. And I know I saw a post-match interview with Arteta, and he said, "Look, it was all down to me. I didn't prepare them well enough," which is what managers nowadays do, rather than putting players in trouble. But for a certain amount of, these are professional footballers. This isn't their first game. They've been playing for a long time now, and they should have expected that. That's what Aston Villa were going to do. And I think they just don't have it in them yet. Whether it's the confidence or something, whether it's down to they know they're going to get a load of stick from the fans or the media, not putting all this solely on the fans at all. And I just don't think they have the ability to, once they're in a state of panic, to get themselves out of it. And I just don't think they know how to yet. They're just in complete panic and shock, and they just do like shocked kids on the pitch, where they need someone who's experienced who can then pull it out. And we've been talking about leaders a bit in this podcast. So who do you think are the potential leaders in that team?
When you see on the field, when I watch their games, honestly, I find a little bit difficult to point out who could be, because it's about the way they express themselves on the field. For me to choose one, maybe they are quiet leaders. I was kind of, I was very quiet, didn't talk much. I represent my words in action, and but you are there.
Yeah, but you can be quite a quiet leader, but you have to lead by example, which is how you played. There's no one leading by example in that team.
And the point is, like, how they are on the daily basis, to each other. As I mentioned, maybe they are two good guys between themselves. It's not a problem for me, but on the field they have to be good guys for the club, good guys that represent the clubs, represent the fans really well. That makes everyone proud and make themselves proud of what they do on the field. And sometimes I find it to be difficult, when I see their actions and the way they behave on the games, even though when they win the games, their expression. I still, struggle to point out, who is the leader.
Yeah.
Well, I still don't really know exactly.
The only person. Go on, sorry.
But I think there are some leaders on the way they are. It's not about wrong or right in the way they are leaders. Everyone manage themselves in the way it fits to everyone, to themselves. What I'm saying is not believing that the best way is just, open their arms, shout on everyone, but it's about some attitude you may have and the way the people perceive you. Everyone believes that you are a leader to be followed. and they compete on the field. But Arsenal, the past years have been suffering, a lot, from from this situation, a kind of leadership, who are the really leaders of the team. I believe that is a moment to people, some, everyone is start to take this on their hands. Okay, I'm leader of my position. Doesn't matter who plays, but in my position, I'm the leader. I'm the boss. And let's. Sometimes you don't need to talk much with the players, but on your attitude on the field, everyone will understand. When it shows up your on attitude, everyone understand that you have to follow them.
I think I agree. I think the only player I can think of who's been there for a while is Leno, the goalkeeper. He's the only one I can see a little bit of leadership from occasionally. But I think the players that have been there for a long time are too almost too wounded by the previous. They've been there too long. It needs to be a new player that's come in to be a captain. And I think Gabriel could potentially be one of the leaders on the pitch. What do you think?
He's too young. He's too young, and he's going to grow up and improve himself and learn things from the Premier League, from the club, and it's about himself. And this kind of thing, we can talk about leadership every day, but it's about ourselves when we want to show up. Because sometimes being a leader is being sometimes a kind of a bad guy, because you talk to the others, you shout on them, you ask questions, and you want answers from them immediately on the field. You want their response, and so I remember sometime talking to Edu, a few times when he mentioned about Jens Lehmann. Sometimes we shout on him in the training session. But I've seen him doing this not only with Edu, but he has done it to me, to Patrick, to Saul, everyone, every training session. It's the way he was, the way he is, the way he trained himself. In every training session, you are, this kind of the bad guy, who talks to everyone. He wants to position them in the right place. But if they don't do the right things, you are there shouting on them, "Come on, what's wrong?" And sometimes people don't like that, but it's necessary.
I was just about to say that. I think it's necessary. We said on a podcast about 3 weeks ago that Arsenal need to learn to be a bit badder. They need to be able to be nasty guys. Nice guys don't win anything. They need to have to be a bit nasty. And they need a Jens Lehmann to go back and be that arsehole in the team that just gets someone to pick their ideas out. And I think that's someone they need. I really do. I think it has been. They've saw that defensive midfielder, and they need to recruit a bastard.
Let me believe that this was like a bad day for them.
Yeah.
And believing that after the international break, they come back strong and reflect on everything they did wrong and to correct it for the remaining season. Because from now on, things gonna get worse. If you don't get the result. And how many games Arsenal have played? 9, 10, or less. 9 games. It's like 8 games. And from now on, I think that the teams are doing well after this break from the last season, and but everyone is getting, let's say, sharper from now on. This is what I'm seeing. As I have seen the last weekend, for example, Manchester City against Liverpool was a great game to watch. Great game to watch. Yeah, it was tough game, nice game. That's why when I mentioned to Arsenal, regarding Arsenal especially, it's time for them just to avoid silly mistakes. Avoid silly mistakes and play the way everyone expects them to play for a long time.
I agree. So I think this is going to be a short podcast this week because there's not really many positives to talk about, and there's no game next week.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want to just talk about negative things.
Yeah.
But of course, everyone is a
there's no play of the week this week.
No, yeah.
I don't think.
No.
Anyone who really deserves it. Maybe we'll give it to us. I'll name Gilberto Silva the player of the week.
No, leave me out. Leave me out. But no, I think it's important. We don't want to just extend the podcast here just to blame players and the strategy. No, it's not the intention. It's about just to discuss a few points and what we believe that could this is our opinion about the last game. It's not, but they working on a daily basis and very frustrating when this type of situation happen.
Mm-hmm.
But it's about not just learning about your mistakes, about do the right things in the next game and the next game and the next game again. Because if you don't have a consistency, you suffer a lot in football. And sometimes in never business, if you don't have consistency to do it and repeat things and now learn from mistake and but make a right action immediately, it's so hard to achieve the results. And let's see. Hope they come back strong after the international break and renovate for the new. I don't know the new what.
New result.
The next new result, the next game, and I hope so. And I send my positivity for all of them, and this is what I want to say. But to send all my positivity for the team and for the players, and I hope they get back stronger.
I agree.
Great, mate. It was great to speak to you again.
Yep.
In this new episode.
Yep.
Where people can see us, can find us, please help me out again.
No worries. So we have, you can, if you go to link in Gilberto's bio in his social media, we're available. The podcast is available on every single platform. And also, if you want to see our handsome faces, mine, one of the Gilberto's, you can find it's his YouTube channel. So if you search Gilberto Silva on YouTube, you'll be able to find his YouTube channel, which has got all the podcasts in.
That's my friend. Thank you once again, team. Great speech, friend. See you soon.
Cheers, mate.
Bye-bye.